webinar. So I'll be sharing my small video. So 1 second. Sometimes I need to close. Thank you. So before introducing Nicole and starting our webinar, I will ask you to open your cam just for 1 minute. We'll take a photo for all of us, a souvenir photo, and then we'll start the webinar. So if it is okay for you, please, can you open your cam just for a quick photo, very quick photo. Natalie, take a screenshot, please, too. Page 1. Page 2, and page 3. Thank you. So our webinar will be very interactive. Feel free to ask your questions anytime in the chat box during the presentation. You can ask all your questions in the chat box. And this webinar will be interactive. You will have to we'll add some polls, some questions, some videos. So let's be very, very interactive. Dr. Bukhalil is a pharmacist and a clinical aromatherapist. She is committed to raising awareness on the many benefits of aromatherapy. She gives lectures, workshops, and trainings to the general public as well as to health professionals. She serves as regional director for the American National Aromatherapy Holistic Association. So we have the pleasure to welcome Dr. Nicole Bukhalil. She will tell us about the link between aromatherapy and well-being. Nicole, the floor is yours.
Thank you. So I'm gonna just start sharing my screen. Okay, just a moment.
Just you pick the PowerPoint, yes.
Just a moment. It's okay. Okay. Can you hear me? Can you see the
Yes,
PowerPoint?
excellent, yes.
Okay. First of all, hello to all. I'm thrilled and very happy to be here with you. Thank you for USG and Chair Diane for hosting this webinar. And I'm very happy because I am sharing not just my knowledge, but my passion, which is aromatherapy. I'm going to share it with you. And during these 2 hours, we are going to see how aromatherapy is actually a powerful tool for well-being, for our well-being that has been really shaken in this time of COVID. So what is our, how is it going to be, how is it going to go? So first we are going to have a brief introduction about what is well-being, which is actually linked to the SDG 3, health and well-being, this webinar, as Fadi mentioned earlier. And then we are going to see the COVID impact on our physical, on mental well-being. And then we will see how aromatherapy and essential oil can help us and why. And we will start sharing the tips and recipes about the support for our physical well-being with aromatherapy and for our psychological and emotional well-being. I have tried to make it as fun and as interactive as possible. We are going to see some videos along this talk. We are going also to have some, like every 20 minutes or so, we're going to pause for your questions. Let's go. So, what is well-being? I'm going to start by asking you the question. So, can you tell me what is well-being for you?
So to answer this question, we'll be addressing a link on the chat. Natalie will post the link on the chat. It's a WooClap application. You click just on the link or you copy it on your browser and you answer the question, please. So you just click on the link on the chat box, or you copy the link and you go to your browser. You can use your mobile phone too, please.
Just write whatever comes to your mind. You know, what is well-being for you, not in general, just what does it mean for you?
You can see my screen?
Yes, we're starting to see some...
Yes, so now your answers, we can see your answers now. And the more the word is big, the more persons are saying the same word. I mean.
Okay.
So we have peace of mind, the biggest one until now.
Can you please put back the link?
Sorry?
Can you please put back the link? It's
yes,
not sure.
Natalie will copy the link again on the chat box. Yes, excellent.
Great.
We have only 23 answers. We are around 75 participants who are waiting for you. Go ahead. So we have health, we have peace, we have mental, physical, balance. Yes. Ten more seconds. Yes. Excellent. 62 answers.
Great.
Excellent.
Bonsoir, la conférence en français ou en anglais?
It's in English. It's in English tonight.
Okay, d'accord. Thank you.
So we can see the answers. So we have health. We can stop answering maybe. We have health, we have physical, we have mental, we have good state, balance. We have small words in harmony, spiritual, health, comfortable, feelings, good health. I don't know if you want to comment, Nicole.
Yes, well, these are good. Actually, these are all related to well-being. And you are right by mentioning every one of them. Physical health, of course, is related to well-being, mental health, a balance, harmony, being feeling good. So all of these are part of well-being. I'm going to share my screen again. Can you see it? Can you see my screen?
No, not yet. It's still black, Nicole.
No, I think you mean try to make stop sharing and share again and click on the PowerPoint directly.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So what is well-being? So as you see on the right-hand side, it's everything, it's most everything what you wrote as well. And if we want to stick to the strict definition of well-being as the Oxford English Dictionary defines it, it's a state of being comfortable, healthy, or happy. But I'm sure that you suspect that it is much wider. It has a wider concept. And well-being is actually related of what people feel, what is their perception about their lives and their health, and the meaning they give to their life. And well-being actually is a positive outcome that is very meaningful to people. And it comprises life satisfaction judgments, but also the feelings that can range from depression to joy. So I would say that a good well-being is a balance between our mental health, our physical health, our social status, our intellectual level, our spiritual also connection. Like how much there is a balance between all these aspects. And I would also, I would add the environmental aspect. All of these, when they are in balance, they produce the well-being state. And now we are going to go for another question. How did the COVID impacted you? And you're going to have like a series of questions, and you will have to pick one of them, one or two.
So I launched the poll. You can see it, I think.
Yes. So I'm going to read it. Of the following, on which do you feel the COVID impacted you the most? So you can answer, you can have more than one answer, sorry. Is it like increased anxiety and stress levels, increased feelings of fear, fatigue and lack of energy, feelings of loneliness, feeling of being trapped, lack of enjoyment, sadness?
Okay, so go ahead and vote. We have until now 55 answers, over 85 participants. 60, 62, excellent. 3-4 seconds, 3 seconds. So Marwan is saying COVID has positive impact too. Of course, we'll be talking about that, Marwan.
Yes, of course.
Of course. So I will end the polling and I will share the results.
Unsurprisingly.
So do you want to comment, Nicole?
Yes, well, I was saying, unsurprisingly, of course, our anxiety and stress levels were the most impacted by COVID. And then there is the feeling of fatigue. We don't have energy and we're not able of enjoying anything in life. And all of these are actually interconnected. Like when we are stressed, we're gonna feel more fatigue, less energy, more fear, and we're gonna be more anxious and enjoy less the pleasures of life.
You can continue, Nicole, if you want.
Okay, let me just. I'm still seeing your the poll results.
Click on stop sharing results because you are host too.
Okay, let me just.
If you can remove the black box.
Wait, there, okay.
Yes, it's fine, you can continue.
It's fine, but it's not, wait. Okay, so we have been all feeling the strains of COVID, okay, with the quarantine, the confinement. Some have had like an increased workload, and so feeling burnout, others were without work. So COVID has had the impact on all of us. And I wanted to share with you like this lady who's a manager, and she said something that is, we can relate to all of us. She said, being a warrior by nature, I found it hard to sleep. I was overworked, had palpitations, panic attacks, felt fatigue most of the time. I was fearing for my health and what my kid would do if I fell ill, as my husband was stuck working abroad and couldn't go back. So this is stress. This is called stress, and stress is going to have physical manifestation and, of course, psychological and mental manifestation. The physical manifestations are insomnia and sleep problems, fatigue, exhaustion, pain, muscle tension, having difficulty concentrating and focus problems, trouble having sex, digestive problems, and of course, a reduced immunity with an increased susceptibility to infection. And of the mental manifestations, the notable ones are anxiety, depression, and sadness. So I wanted to show you this survey that was done, and it comprised 16 different countries, and the majority of the people in all the countries said that COVID-19 impacted them negatively. There are, of course, like you can see the red part. These are the people who were impacted positively by the COVID-19, as Marwan was saying. And I suspect that these people were partly using aromatherapy to feel well. So another survey that shows that was done in the US, and that shows that the level of anxiety and depression syndromes were really increased during the COVID pandemics, and much more than the same period, like this was done in June of 2020, much more than the period of June 2019. I'm showing you this just to tell you that we're all related and we have all been feeling the same. And in order to cope with the COVID-19, we need to have some strategies, because COVID-19 is prevalent, and it is good to find tools that will resource us, that will support us, not just us, but also our loved one, so we can continue. And luckily, aromatherapy is really a wonderful adjunct to our mental and physical health, and we are going to see together why and how. So what is aromatherapy? If we can stick to the strict definition, it is the aroma, the good smells, and the therapia from the Greek, which means to heal. So it's like healing with the aroma. If we are going to ask what is aromatherapy from the medicine side, and if we consider it an integrative medicine, then we can say that aromatherapy is a practice of using essential oils to get therapeutic benefits, in order to feel like for our cold, or to to lessen the burden of pain. But I like a wider definition, which is the holistic approach of aromatherapy. And as Gabrielle Moe say, it is the controlled use of essential oils to maintain and promote not just physical, but also psychological and spiritual well-being. And as the NAHA puts it, it is the promotion and harmonization of emotional, physical, and spiritual health. And I encourage you to go to the NAHA website and just read more about what essential oil is, how to use them safely. You get a lot of information, and you can also consult their little booklets. So as you can see from what I said before, aromatherapy and well-being are really complementary. Aromatherapy also acts on the spirit, on the mind, and the body, and it has it all. So I'm going to ask you, I'm sure many of you have been using essential oils, but I would like to know who of you have used essential oil, not just heard of them.
So this is our poll number 2. If you can answer this question, have you ever used essential oil? Yes, we have around 70 answers.
Like the majority have used.
Yes, we'll wait like for 1 or 2 more seconds. I will share results.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see the results?
Yes, I can read that around like 79% have already used essential oils, whereas 31% have never used essential oils. And this is good because we are going to give like recipes and tips of some essential oils for people who have never used them. They can use them, it's easy. And for those who are using them, it will give them like new ideas of how to use essential oils.
I think Marwan said since 25 years. I don't know if he's saying about concerning the usage of essential oils. Yes.
Okay, that's very interesting. Let me just. Okay, I'm trying to move my slides, but they're not moving. Let me.
If it's blocking, you can stop sharing and share again. Sometimes it blocks. Yes.
Okay.
So meanwhile, I'll see what's in the chatting. So Valerie is saying in the chat, used and misused essential oils. Okay,
yes.
We'll be talking about that.
Yes, of course. Okay, so very briefly, essential oils are found in plants that are called aromatic plants. We usually found them in different organs of the plant. It depends on what. Like for cinnamon, it's found on the bark. For eucalyptus, it's in the leaves. For rose, obviously, in the petals and flowers, and etc., etc. So they are in pockets. They're not called essential oils yet. And it's when we extract them that they become essential oils. And what is important to note that essential oils are not just aromatic and volatile molecules, and they are considered a messenger of a plant. But it is very important to know that one essential oil is actually composed of hundreds of chemical components. And this is what makes essential oil versatile. Like we can use one essential oil let's say lavender for skin problem or also to sleep. It's because of the different chemical components that are found in one essential oils. And also what is important to remember, it is that they are very concentrated, very powerful. And that is why we use them in drops. And that is why we should use them very cautiously. And as Valerie said, there are some problem of misuse sometimes. So how do we extract essential oils? There are two main processes. There are more, but there are two main processes. The majority use the steam distillation. And for the citrus fruits, we're going to express them so to get the essential oils out of the rind. So briefly, this is the steam distillation process. We need to have heat and then the plant and then some water. And then the vapor, since essential oils are volatile, they're gonna go with the vapor and then we're gonna cool them down and they will become liquid again. The distillation process is going to lead to a big water part, which is called the hydrosol or hydrolat. And then at the end of the distillation process, we're gonna get a small fraction that is the essential oils. As you can see, essential oils are gonna be floating at the surface because first they are lipophilic molecules, they do not mix with water, and because they are lighter than water. And we're gonna start like part of our well-being journey with a video about the distillation in Provence of lavender.
Okay, I will ask you to stop sharing, Nicole, to show the video, please.
Okay.
Pardon, vous ne voyez pas la vidéo?
Non.
Ok, je vais la remettre.
Just now?
En fait, je pense que ce métier, j'en ai attrapé un peu le virus lorsque j'étais enfant parce que je suis né à côté d'une distillerie et je suis souvent allé m'amuser avec les enfants du distillateur. On jouait à cache-cache entre les bidons d'huile essentielle, de lavande, de sauge. Et c'est vrai que lorsque j'ai eu l'opportunité, maintenant il y a 18 ans, de reprendre cette distillerie à Nyons, au-delà d'un métier, c'est une vie que j'ai trouvée et c'est vraiment un métier extrêmement intéressant. La distillation des plantes et notamment de la lavande, c'est une extraction que l'on fait par entraînement à la vapeur d'eau. C'est-à-dire que l'on va faire chauffer de l'eau pour la transformer en vapeur. Cette vapeur va traverser les plantes et en traversant les plantes, la vapeur a la propriété à la fois de faire éclater les micro-poches d'huile essentielle contenues dans les calices des fleurs de lavande et ensuite cette vapeur d'eau va entraîner avec elle cette huile essentielle. Donc on va récupérer un mélange gazeux de vapeur d'eau et d'huile essentielle et ensuite il suffira de refroidir ce mélange gazeux pour obtenir un liquide où nous aurons à ce moment-là une séparation par différence de densité entre l'huile essentielle et l'eau. Et il sera assez facile de récupérer séparément ces deux phases. Le principe est une technique ancestrale puisque cela remonte à plusieurs milliers d'années avant Jésus-Christ, à l'époque donc de la Mésopotamie, et ensuite ça s'est transmis de génération en génération. La lavande pour moi est un parfum particulier, j'adore son parfum, j'aime beaucoup le travailler, mais je suis en fait très réceptif à cette dimension, on va dire, olfactive.
So now that we've distilled our essential oils, we have them. How do they work? Essential oils have two fundamental modes of action that actually explain why essential oils and aromatherapy has a holistic approach. So first, remember I told you that each essential oil is made of hundreds of chemical components. Well, these are the chemical components that are going to allow the essential oil to have a pharmacological effect, like you're going to apply it maybe on your skin and it's going to have an effect against pain, against muscle tension, like a digestive effect, like being antispasmodic, etc. And the other mode of action is the magical part of essential oil. It is the aroma. So because of the aroma, we have the psychological effect of aromatherapy that has an impact on our mood and on our emotions. So maybe you've heard a lot of people telling you, well, aromatherapy, essential oils, I'm not sure. I'm not sure it works. It's the myth. Well, I'd like to tell you that no, if you go and make search like on the National Library, PubMed in the US, you're going to see around 2,300 studies, published studies on essential oils and aromatherapy, improving sleep quality, improving pain, for depression, and much, much more. And actually also aromatherapy has been used in hospitals in the UK since the 1960s and around the world, in France and Germany, in the US, and I have had the privilege to introduce aromatherapy in one hospital here in Beirut. And we mainly use it like to reduce feeling of pain, of anxiety, of sleep, for the nausea and vomiting manifestations of chemotherapy, but also to induce a general well-being, not just for the patient, but also for the carer and for the family of the patient. So there are many ways to use the essential oils. During this webinar, we are going to talk about 3 methods of applications. They are the safest and the easiest to use. It's the diffusion, like you see on the left-hand side, and then the inhalation, and also, of course, the topical application. And before moving to our real topic, I'd just like to say that essential oils needs to be safely used. It is very important. It is very important to use 100% pure and natural essential oil. Otherwise, we're not going to have the effects that we are looking for. None of them. And even worse, it can be toxic. So avoid synthetic fragrances. Make sure where you're buying your essential oil from. We don't use usually pure essential oil on the skin. We always have to dilute it, and always respect the number of drops, the number of daily applications. Of course, know the essential oil you are using. Be aware of the precautions and the contraindication related to each essential oil. Store your essential oil in a place like away from light, from heat, from close it well. Oxygen is bad for essential oils. And always, in case of doubt, consult your aromatherapy expert. So I'd like to know if you have any questions so far.
We have some questions in the chat box, Nicole.
Okay.
Tagrid is asking where she can find these oils. How can she buy oils?
Maybe at the end of the webinar, I will tell her how and where.
Okay. Khadija, how do you think using aromatherapy for newborns and kids, it is safe as adults?
No, it's not safe as adults. Usually, we don't recommend using essential oils for newborns unless you are a trained and qualified aromatherapist and you have a long experience. There are a few essential oils that we can use, but very diluted and like starting 3 or 4 months of the life of the newborn. And we have to be cautious. Like starting the age of 6 and 7, it's okay to use essential oils. And I mostly advise to use them like diluted on the skin, very diluted.
Okay, thank you, Nicole. Jana is asking, do we have distillery au Liban?
We do have, but they're all like artisanal distillery. Okay, like they're personal or family distilleries, but not like distilleries that are producing essential oils in a standardized way.
Yes. Dr. Nadia Markbawi, yes, she's saying that it could be dangerous sometimes for pregnant.
Of course, right. There are some essential oils that we need to avoid for many persons, not just for pregnant, but for pregnant, of course, pregnant and lactating. There are few essential oils that could be used, and of course starting the second trimester, not the first trimester. And also essential oils should not be used in people who are like in epileptic people. Some essential oils should not be used for those who are allergic, have a respiratory allergy, asthmatic. We need to be cautious. That's why I said before using your essential oil, just get to know it, because some essential oil can be used and some others no. They're not the same for everyone.
Yes, I think we can continue the presentation and we can collect some more questions later on.
Okay, I need to stop sharing probably because it's not.
It's okay. You can continue. No.
It's not.
Okay. If it's blocking, yes.
It's blocking. So we are going to start our recipes by tackling the physical approach of aromatherapy for our physical well-being. And I am going to talk about these three topics, like how to boost our energies, since many of us during the poll said that they were feeling like tired. How to strengthen our immunity, of course, in these COVID times, and how to improve insomnia. So let's start aromatherapy for energy. I just want us to say that this is my choice of essential oils, and there are a lot of essential oils that I could have mentioned, but I just choose those. So we have peppermint, that is an excellent.
Sorry, Nicole, you are not sharing your screen. I don't know if you.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, can you see?
Yes, yes, excellent.
Okay, so I think it went, hold on, just a moment. Okay, so.
No, now you are not sharing anymore. No, you were sharing and then you stopped. Yes.
Can you see? Okay.
Yes. Now we can see.
Okay. One of my favorite essential oils for energy boosting is peppermint. It's great for stamina. It's great to keep alert. Like if you have something to prepare, to stay awake, you can just open the bottle of peppermint and smell it. It gives you an instant boost. Lemon also is energizing and uplifting. Cinnamon bark as well. And we have black spruce that I particularly love. And the pines are really, really good for energy. Now, I just wanted to mention that peppermint, although I love this oil very much, but we have to be careful for people who have hypertension. It's a strong smell and sometimes it can elevate the tension. Lemon, if you apply it on the skin, you have to keep in mind that it can cause a severe reaction with sun. if you expose your skin to the sun, so also be cautious about that. And cinnamon, you will see sometimes lots of recipe on, I don't know, on Instagram and on the internet about using cinnamon. And with cinnamon, we have to be very, very careful because it can burn the skin when you apply it to the skin. It has to be very, very, very diluted and used with lots of caution. So I'm going to start with sharing a Boost Energy blend. We're going to diffuse this blend. So I know I have not mentioned lemongrass in the previous slide, but this is to introduce you to a different essential oil. So you are going to make a blend of lemongrass, lemon, and Scots pine. I love lemongrass. Lemongrass is very invigorating. It gives like a boost. Lemon is very uplifting. It puts you in a good mood. And Scots pine is actually one of the best essential oils to use in case of fatigue, of exhaustion, and that if you wanna, it's very tonifying for the body. So what you will do, and let's say you have a diffuser, like an ultrasonic diffuser when you put water. And if it says, you have to read, each diffuser is different according to how big it is. But if this is for 10 drops total, you have to read what the manufacturer told you to, how many drops to use. If it stayed, let's say 10, then I advise you to put 2 drops of lemongrass, 4 drops of lemon, and 4 drops of Scots pine. And then if it's more or less, you will, you can use them accordingly. Just a word on diffusion. You know, there are a lot of diffusions. We have the ultrasonic, we have the nebulizer. I like the ultrasonic where there is water, but I always want to counsel you to always diffuse intermittently. You just don't put the diffuser and leave it on for hours. That is really bad. You diffuse for around like 15 to 20 minutes, let's say 3 or 4 times daily. You cannot diffuse if people have asthma or any respiratory allergies. You don't diffuse in case of babies or children less than 7 years. And of course, you need to be cautious if people are epileptic or if we have pregnant women or breastfeeding. Bear in mind that not all essential oils can be diffused. We cannot, there are some that cannot be diffused at all. Like you cannot diffuse thymol, for example. It can be very bad. So this is a recipe to boost energy. Let's say you want something for you. You don't want to diffuse it. You just want to have something with you. Well, you can have a personal inhaler, just what is shown on the right hand of the slide. Or if you don't have a diffuser, you can take a handkerchief and then apply a few drops of it. This recipe is to not just to boost your energy, but it's also for your mental focus. It can help you focusing. And at the same time, it's not gonna make you nervous. It's just gonna keep you alert and feeling well. So if you're using a personal inhaler, you will add a lemon and rosmarinous. You know that rosmarinous is very good for concentration, is very good for memory. Actually, in some clinics and some hospitals, they use rosemary for people who have memory loss and for people who have Alzheimer's. And I can hear some of you saying, wait, lavender, what has this to do with boosting energy? Lavender is like anxiolytic and it helps us calm. Well, lavender, like many essential oil, is balancing, and it can actually, a lot of studies have proven that it helps concentrate attention and keep us focused. So this is a beautiful balanced blend where you can put lemon, rosmarinous, lavender, and peppermint to keep you alert. Of course, if you don't like peppermint, you can just remove it. And now we move on to aromatherapy for immunity. we're all interested in ways to boost our immunities. And I'm going to share with you like 2 recipes I've been using this whole winter. We all know that immunity and stress are related. Whenever we have high levels of stress, like the moment we're living now during the COVID, then this impacts negatively our immune system. We automatically have a lower response to infections. We regulate less the inflammatory responses in our body. And you all know that inflammation and chronic inflammation is responsible for many things and for many illnesses. And also stressed people have shorter duration of sleep, and that reduces our immunity as well. Needless to say that immunity and mental health are very much related, and then stress and mental health is the biggest immune compromiser. So what are the essential oils for immunity? We have a lot, once again, but I'm always trying to choose essential oils that are easily found, very common, easily used, like they don't have lots of difficulties in using them, they don't have lots of contraindications, and also that they are affordable, not very expensive. So if we can read, we have the Ravinsara. Those of you who follow my classes know that I really love Ravinsara. Ravinsara is an essential oil that comes from Madagascar. You can see the picture on the right side. And it is really an exceptional oil. It is it supports our immunity. It is a very strong antimicrobial essential oil. It also has anti-inflammatory effects, and it's very balancing for our nervous system. So it's a complete oil, I would say, for immunity. You all know Eucalyptus globulus or Eucalyptus radiata. It's also an exceptional oil for all, the respiratory manifestation, and it's also an immune essential oil. We have an oil that is not very common. It's bay laurel, and I particularly love this oil. And now there are actually promising studies showing that bay laurel essential oil has a strong activity against the coronavirus. We can also mention tea tree, of course, lemon again, thyme linalool. Please note that it's not the thymol or any other kind of thyme. Whenever you want to buy an essential oil, please make sure that you have the full name. Otherwise, you risk burn your skin, or you risk have like adverse effects. So let's start with this roll-on recipe for immune support. I've chosen like 3 essential oils, and actually I've been using this recipe this whole winter. It's about Eucalyptus radiata, tea tree, and lemon. The blend is going to have like a very soft aroma. We're going to dilute it, of course, in a carrier oil. We're going to put 3 drops of Eucalyptus radiata, tea tree 3 drops, and lemon 2 drops. And we're going to add the carrier oil of our choice. I don't know what you have, but it's like you can use almond oil, sesame oil, macadamia oil, jojoba oil, and put them in a roll. And then use this roll, let's say every morning. You can use it on your wrists 5 days per week for like 2 or 3 months. I don't know if you can you see me, or can you just see the slideshow?
No, we see you too.
Okay, so this is the roll, and this is how you do it. You put it on the wrist, and you of course put your wrist, and you're not just going to have the topical effect, but you can join your wrist together and just smell it. Now, since we are talking about COVID and immunity and infection, I thought it would be good to give you a clean home recipe. This is a diffusion that is going to have like an antimicrobial effect, an acid for your home. And that will ward off bacteria and viruses. It has a disinfecting effect, actually. So what you can do is in your diffusion, like diffuse every day in the morning, this eucalyptus radiata, lemon, and Scots pine, and the aroma is really wonderful. It's not just like it's going to clean the air, but it's also uplifting, and it's actually going to put you in a good mood. You're going to feel good and better. And now moving on to important subject like the insomnia. I know concerning my work, like I get a lot of my patients who ask me, the majority of them, they really need something to sleep better, to improve their sleep patterns. And actually, aromatherapy and insomnia is one of the most studied research field in aromatherapy. There are hundreds of studies proving the benefits of aromatherapy to improve insomnia, and lots of protocols. Okay, I'm just trying to move my, my screen for the next slide. Okay, let me stop sharing and share again. I'm sorry for this. Okay. So what are the essential oils that we are going to use for insomnia? We have a lot really, and this again is my choice. We can add so many more, but these are the most common and the most beneficial, not the most beneficials, but the most liked by the people. So of course we have lavender. And lavender might seem as a cliche, like for insomnia and sleep, but no, it is not. Like there are many studies that prove the effects of lavender on the quality of sleep. Actually, lavender makes sleep better and reduces the time to fall asleep. And when you wake up in the morning, you have a good quality of sleep. We also have geranium that I particularly love. You can see the picture on the right-hand side, but not everyone likes geranium. So if you want to start using it, you have to start little by little. And we have the petit grain bigarade. The petit grain bigarade comes from the distillation of the leaves of the bitter orange. And then we have sweet orange, the peel. And then we have Roman chamomile that is really excellent for insomnia, but not everyone likes the smell of it. We have bergamot that is really also amazing. And we have the ylang ylang, as you can see also the picture of it. So what are the rituals that we are going to do to sleep better? What can we do? We can start by a diffusion. We can start by diffusing the essential oils. And what I chose for you are these 4 essential oils that are really very beautiful to diffuse at night. Like what you're gonna do is before you sleep, let's say 15 or 20 minutes before you sleep, you can put this diffuser in your bedroom and just put it for 15 to 20 minutes. You can use lavender, petit grain, sweet orange, and ylang. Now, if you don't like the ylang smell, you don't put it. So what you can do is you can say add 3 drops of lavender, 3 drops of petit grain, orange, sweet orange, 3 drops, and ylang ylang 1 drop. Again, this is for a 10-drop total in your diffuser. It depends upon your diffuser. And you're gonna have like a lovely smell. It's gonna relax you. It's gonna be anxiolytic, and it's gonna open the way for a relaxing night. Another way is like if you don't want to diffuse, or you can add it to a diffuser, is to use what we call a room spritzer or a pillow mist. It's very simple to use. There are many ways to make a pillow mist, but I wanted to choose something practical and very easy for you and something that you could do. So what you can do is like you can take, if you see me, like you can take this bottle and it has a spray. And then what you do is you open it and you add the essential oils. I have chosen the same essential oils that we put in the diffuser. I just didn't put the ylang ylang, but you can add the ylang ylang. And let's say, so this is the lavender. So you take the lavender and you put 3 drops, you count 3 drops, and then you take the petit grain, the sweet orange, and you complete with water. You either put a regular water or distilled water, and you shake every time, and you can just, you know, spray it. And this contains rose and geranium, and it's really, really lovely. This you need to spray it around you, not on you, not on your skin, not on your face. And actually, you can put it for your kids, because the essential oils that I have mentioned here are very safely used for kids, like starting 3 or 4, you can put it in their room. What you can also do, another tip or ritual is, I'm sure you've heard it, but it works, like to put a few drops of lavender under your pillow. Or if you don't want to, or you don't like to, you can take a simple handkerchief like this one, and then just put 2 or 3 drops of essential oil and put it next to your table, next to your nightstand table, and then just let it there, let it diffuse, and you are sure to have like a good night of sleep. I just want to mention that be aware that lavender sometimes can give the opposite effect. It can make you excited, feel excited if you put too much of it. And some of the people don't like essential oils. And also you can simply use the lavender hydrolat. So do you have any questions so far?
We have some questions in the chat box, and then we can maybe ask other people to ask with their questions. So Noor Maroon is asking, is there any way to extract essential oils ourselves without the distillation machinery, through maceration or tainting maybe?
Yes, some people do that, but actually it's not, you're not going to get the true essential oils, and you're not going to get the full composition that we usually found in essential oils. So you might get something called, but not necessarily an essential oils. You can get some component of an essential oil, but not the complete essential oil. But okay, you can try, why not?
Rita is asking, for how long does a personal inhaler stay effective?
Okay, in my experience, it stays effective for around 3 months. Okay. So it's really good. It's really good. You can take it everywhere with you, and it's very practical. Like sometimes I have this one, if I'm preparing something like for today's webinar, you just, every time you feel you want a push, like this is an uplifting and a good mood push, that you just smell it and you have it with you.
Juliette is asking, lavande aspic is the same as the ones stated?
No, lavande aspic is spiked lavender. Lavande aspic does not smells the same as lavender and does not have the same properties. So lavande aspic is used as an anti-inflammatory, and it's used like for everything that's related to bee stings, to like sometimes when you are in summertime, you are at the sea, it's very good against these kind of stings, but it's not the same as lavender. So it will not make you relax, it will not make you fall asleep.
Marwan is asking, how about sun problem with lemon?
Okay, so if you want to use a lemon and you want to apply it diluted on your skin, you have 2 choices. Either you have to make sure that once you apply it on your skin, you're not going to go and expose yourself to the sun, or at least the part of your skin where you apply the essential oils. Let's say you apply them on your wrist. If you go outside wearing a long sleeve, or if it's not in a direct exposure to sunlight, there's no problem. The other choice you have, it's that you can apply it at night. Let's say the the lemon essence, and then the second morning you will have no problem. And then you have a third choice, which is to really dilute it like less than, like around 1%. And usually you should not have a problem. It's not just lemon that is, we call this reaction with the sun phototoxic. It's not just lemon, it's actually all the citrus, like orange, mandarin. So you have to be careful.
Okay, Valerie is asking, what's the problem with epilepsy and aromatherapy?
Okay, the problem is there are some components in some essential oils that can lower the threshold of epilepsy and then might cause some epilepsy crisis for people. Okay, like for example, what I'm talking about is the 1,8-cineol that is commonly found in eucalyptus. Okay, so if this person who is prone to epilepsy smells eucalyptus, whether it's through diffusion or, you know, through opening the bottle and smell it directly, it can cause epilepsy. It's just a caution that we use, that we advise. It's not that it's going to cause a direct epilepsy crisis, but we want to avoid this. But there are other essential oils that we're fine with them, have no problem.
Okay, Rita is asking, can we use only one oil or we are supposed to mix oils every time?
No, you can use just one oil, but it's always better to mix two oils, so just not to be fixed on just one oil. You know, at one point, you're gonna have the smell or the odor, it's gonna follow you and linger you. So it's better to mix oils, but there is no contraindication. If you love just having, let's say, I don't know, Petit Grain, Big Aradier or Sweet Orange, then you do it.
Okay. We have two more questions. So Tatiana, should we take the same topical precautions when using a product that is based on essential oils as fragrance, like soaps?
I did not understand. Should we take the same topical precautions when using a product that is based on essential oils as a fragrance, like soaps? No. Unless you're putting a big concentrations, but usually no.
And you have the question of Roberto, how deep can we smell essential oils? Is there a limit?
Okay, so it depends what you are doing. If you are just doing like this, just to have from time to time, there's no problem. But what we usually do is either it's an inhaler or you want to smell it from the box. What we usually advise to do is to inhale deeply the fragrance 3 times in a row, every few minutes. If we are doing like, if you're just inhaling it, let's say for a meditation or to relax. If you are inhaling it because you need to have the effect just for now, you can inhale deeply 3 times in a row, not just, some people would do like this. This is not effective, obviously. So you need to inhale, exhale 3 times in a row, and then repeat every 5 to 10 minutes if necessary, okay? If you are inhaling from a bottle directly, it can feel more overwhelming. So you need to make a balance. But if you are smelling a lot, then yes, of course, you can get, the receptors can get saturated and you can feel overwhelmed.
Do you have time for 2 more questions before we continue, or do you prefer to continue?
No, let's go with the questions. It's okay.
Okay, Carol is asking, is there a difference used between essential oils for aromatherapy and for skincare?
Okay, so if we're talking aromatherapy as a therapeutic effect and skincare, we're talking about the cosmetology aspect. If this is what Carol is asking, then usually the concentration is much lower when we're using essential oils or aromatherapy for skincare in cosmetics. Okay, that is the main difference.
What about using them in candles?
It's the same thing as using them in soaps. So yes, we can use them.
Okay. So we can continue, I think, and then we come back to questions.
Yes, I mentioned that it's not good to spray on the face because I used water and essential oils do not mix with water. So you are going to have on your face the molecules of essential oils that are not diluted. This is why I said not to use them. And about the meditation essential oils, we're going to talk about this now.
Okay.
So, and for Marwan, yes, deeper inhalation means more molecule reaching the bloodstream. I agree with you, especially if, let's say, we're diffusing or we are smelling directly from the bottle. But if it's through an inhaler, there is no problem. So we are going to continue. Can you see my slideshow?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask you now the question is, according to you, can an odor impact your mood? No or yes? Can it impact your behavior or can it impact both? What do you think?
Both.
I think there is going to be like a...
Yes, Fadi, could you please launch the poll?
Do you need me to stop sharing?
Is it about self-care? Because I have a poll for self-care. I don't think that I have this poll.
Yes, this is it, Fadi, this one.
This is it? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
No, this is not the ritual. This is question number 3. Yes, impact of odor, right.
So does odor impact your mood, your behavior, both or none? We need more answers. We have 40 answers now. Yes, excellent. Go ahead. $50 answers. 2 or 3 more seconds. So I'm going to share the results.
Okay, so 73 are saying that it impacts both, and that's the correct answer. I mean, this is the right thing. It impacts mood, yes, and it impacts our behavior, of course, so it does impact both. So, and I'm going to explain how this happened very quickly. So now you have the essential oil fragrance that you are smelling, and it's of course going directly through your nasal cavity, and it's going to reach your limbic system. And this is the important part of the psychological aspect of essential oils. The limbic system is where it all happens. So what about the limbic system? The limbic system...
You are not sharing your slides, Nico.
Oh, okay. Share screen. Okay. Can you see?
Okay. Yes. Yes.
Okay. So this is what happens when we are smelling an essential oil. So the smell goes directly through the nasal cavity and arrives to the limbic system. And this is where everything happens. So the limbic system, as some of you might know, is the center of our memories and of our emotions, where everything is stocked. Even our trauma is stocked in this part. So whenever we are smelling, this happens really very quickly when we're smelling an odor. We're not even conscious. In a matter of seconds, the odor has reached this limbic system, and automatically we're going to have a reaction. We're going to either like it, we're not going to like it, even before guessing what is this odor we are smelling. So this is like, it is actually, smell is the only sense that has a direct, that is in a direct relationship with our brain in this way. There's nothing, it's very quick. And so our memories and our emotions are affected by smell. You know, a lot of times you are somewhere having a walk and then you smell, I don't know, maybe jasmine or rose. And this takes you back to your memories, to your grandmother garden, or sometimes you smell a smell and it reminds you of a person that you met like some times ago. So this is why it is, because our limbic system. But our limbic system also is not only the place where our memories and emotions are stored, but our limbic system is also in direct relation with our nervous system and with our endocrine system. And so it is also in relation with our neurotransmitters, you know, the feel-good neurotransmitters, the dopamine, the serotonin. And it's also in relation with the blood pressure system mechanism, the heart rate. And this is why sometimes when you feel, when you smell an essential oils, you can feel calmer, you can feel more relaxed. Your respiration is widened. So these are the effects, the psychological effects. And I just wanted to point out that since we are talking about COVID infection, you've been hearing, I'm sure, a lot about the lost smell post-COVID. And it's a very disturbing state. Sometimes, you know, it can even lead to depression, because a person cannot smell anything. It cannot even feel what they're eating. And it's, I can tell you, it's very disturbing. But the good thing is that essential oils can help. Of course, they're not going to be used on their own. They're going to be used with other strategies, but we can use them and as a smell recovery training. And I have had a couple of actually 3 patients who have had very good effect with this, but it's a long process. It's not something that happens overnight, but it's interesting to point out that essential oils can help. And then let's go, because we are going to tackle now the mood aspect and the mental health aspect and the psychological aspect with aromatherapy. So maybe let's go ahead and watch this frankincense movie.
I will ask you to stop sharing to
All right.
To play the video, please. Okay.
Okay.
شو اسمهم كلهم؟
Can you see me?
Yes, we can see. Yes.
Yes, I hope you like the trail. So this is frankincense. Frankincense has amazing properties, not just on our psychological mood or level, but also physically. What are the essential oils that I love for anxiety? So there are a lot again. But we're going to introduce some new essential oils. One of them, perhaps the most precious essential oil is rose or Rosa damascena. We also have, of course, frankincense, Boswellia carteri, and then we have Roman chamomile. That is an excellent essential oil for anxiety. We have bergamot, ylang ylang, sweet marjoram, petit grain. We have a lot, but this is my choice, and we are going to talk of some of them. So, for example, in moments of fears, of great fears, of loss, of grief, what are the essential oils that we can use? My pick is for these. And I want to tell you my private experience, my personal experience, like when the 4th of August port explosion happened, we were all like knocked out. We were all in a state of shock. And I didn't know what to do. I didn't even know which kind of essential oils I should use. But I can tell you that 2 of the essential oils, rose and jasmine, were really very beneficial to me. I didn't do much. I just opened them and smelled them. And that had like an immediate reaction of calming me, of relaxing me, and of chasing fear. These are the oils, rose, jasmine, of course. Jasmine is an absolute, right? It's not an essential oil because it's not distilled. It is extracted. We are going to use these tiny, fragile flowers. But we don't distill them, actually. We use them in a different way. And we have neholi. Neholi is like, it comes from the Zahr al-Laymun. Okay. And then another essential oil for anxiety that I want to tell you about is Roman chamomile. Roman chamomile is just extraordinary. If you just need to pick one oil, you would pick Roman chamomile. It is very effective, very proven for all kinds of anxiety. And sometimes what you need to do is just take your handkerchief and apply 1 drop of chamomile in a state of fears and deep anxiety, and just smell them deeply. Okay, you can also, if you would like, you can dilute around 10 to 15 drops in a tablespoon and just massage your wrist for a calming effect. The only thing with Roman chamomile is that some people do not really appreciate the smell of it. Now, is there anything for anger? We're all in a state of anger, I guess. We all have like inside of us something that we need to take out. And yes, there are some essential oils that can help us manage our anger or feel a little bit calmer. We have bergamot, ylang ylang, petit grain, but I particularly like sweet marjoram. And then we have vetiver. Vetiver has a particular essential oil. We cannot diffuse it because it's very viscous, and it has a particular smell, so not everyone's like it, but it's very grounding, it's very strengthening. Now, are there any essential oils for depression that help with depression, actually, that are a support for depression? So yes, of course, we have a lot, but I would say that rose is great. Neroli also, melissa, but it's very expensive. Frankincense and bergamot. Frankincense as you have seen, it's a resin, and it comes from like we cut the tree, we cut the wood, and this is how it goes out. So they say that we make a wound in the tree, but frankincense helps actually heal our wound, whether physical or psychological. So you want to feel good diffuser blend just to, you know, to chase away anger and to chase away depression and to chase away fear. I suggest you do this this blend because it's really lovely. The smell is lovely. It is, and it just gives you an immediate feel good feeling. So it has bergamot in it, of course. It has geranium. It has mandarin, lemon, and ylang ylang. So any questions so far?
Yes, we have few questions in the chat box. So I will start with Carol.
Just a moment. Okay.
She's talking about frankincense essential oil. They are expensive. Do you know other alternative?
Other alternative to frankincense. Well, it depends. Why are you going to use it? Like, what is do you want to use it just to feel calmer, to feel less, to feel more grounded? There's nothing that replaces it, but you can try cedarwood, Atlas cedarwood. This is for the grounding effect. If it's for meditation, you can try sandalwood. It's not the same aroma, it's not the same effect, but once again, it depends why are you using it for.
Carol is asking about Ravintsara. Was it studied for the treatment of COVID or is it just used as prophylactic?
No, not studied. It wasn't studied. Okay. It is known as being very supportive for the immune system and very antimicrobial, but it has nothing specific against the coronavirus. Nothing yet.
Rita is asking where we can find these oils.
I do have some, and I can also, we can talk about it at the end of the...
At the end, okay. Yes. It's related to the first question concerning how to buy these oils.
Right.
Is it possible to put essential oils behind the ears or just preferably on the wrists?
You can try put them behind the ears, but you need to dilute them, of course, before. But yes, you can put them on your wrists. You can put them on the solar plexus. You can put them. It depends on where you feel the effect would be better.
Yes. Kiara is asking, what is helichrysum used to?
Helichrysum is mainly used for. It's a great psychiatrism for wounds. It is also used in cosmetology because it has anti-wrinkle properties, and it's also used mainly for whenever you have un coup en bleu, you know, whenever you hit something hard and then you know you have this because it's it's against the formation of fibrin. It's like it's stronger than arnica. It's really very much stronger. So yes. This is what helichrysum is used for.
Cindy, feel free. You are asking to unmute yourself and ask your questions, of course. If someone needs to ask questions, you can unmute yourself and ask the question directly. Yes, Cindy.
Yes, so I would like to ask, like before she mentioned that different lavender concentration can have different effects. For instance, like 2 drops can help you fall asleep more quickly or improve your sleep quality, whereas more greater concentration of lavender can have a total opposite effect, such as boosting your focus or and your awareness. So I would like to know how can we know like the exact and the right concentration of any essential oil on the based on the desired outcome.
Okay,
how do you know how much we can put right. The drops?
So maybe I mis-explained myself. Concerning lavender, I just said that concerning the psychological effects, it's usually a calming essential oils. But sometimes if we use more, it can have the contrary effect. So it can make you not just boost your attention. No, I was talking about the other extreme, like makes you nervous, makes you really excited, and prevent you from falling asleep. Okay, so this happens when we use more. It's usually not just if you use like 3 drops instead of 2, but it's when you use a lot more. Now, how can you know how much you need to use for an essential oil? First of all, it depends on the essential oil itself, of its aroma, of its composition. But usually, like if you want to stay on a safe side, you can like for 15 ml, like for a tablespoon, you can use around 9 or 10 drops, and that is considered like mild. And I have not mentioned that either, that whenever you're applying an essential oil on the skin, it's always better to make like an allergy test before. And how this happens is you take 1 drop of the essential oil or of the blend, and then you put it on, you drop 1 drop on here, and then you massage it sur le pli du coude. Okay, and you wait. Okay, this is just to make sure there's no allergy. So this is related to your question. I hope I answered it.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, Jana is asking, can aromatherapy be effective for autoimmune diseases?
Okay, this is an interesting question. And now there are some essential oils that are immunomodulating. But of course, we need to use them carefully, of course, under the guidance of an aromatherapist expert, but they can be used.
Okay, those are the questions here.
Are there any essential oil with estrogenic-like properties? Yes, there are. Of course, we have sage, that is estrogenic. We have I did not mention all the essential oils, but sage is one of them. We have also cypress essential oil that can be estrogenic. These are the main essential oils, sometimes cedarwood, but it depends, like sometimes we use them for their estrogenic-like effect, and sometimes we want to avoid them. Now, if we want to avoid them, but let's say we are using them in olfaction from time to time, that is okay. Like if not, we're not using them on a regular base.
Is frankincense the same as bakhur?
It is, but it is the distilled form of the bakhur. It's not just the resins. If you've seen the video, you would have noticed how they took the dried resins and distilled them.
Okay, Shaker is asking, could frequent use of some oils create dependencies?
No, not for now, no.
Okay, can we find them in pharmacy or cosmetic? We'll talk about that later. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so we can continue.
So we can continue, and it's my turn to ask you a question, which is the final question. Actually, what would a good self-care ritual be for you? What is a good self-care
So this
ritual?
question, so Natalie will be sending the link on the chat box. Like at the beginning, you can click on the chat box on the link and answer the question, please. And I will be sharing the results. So if you go to the link, you click on the link, and then you answer the question. Relaxing bath. What would a self-care ritual be for you? Sport, nature sport. Come on, please answer the question. And we'll be waiting for the answers. meditation, yoga, exercising, listening to music, relaxing bath, working out, hiking in nature, listening to music. Good ideas.
Yes.
Walk in nature, river. Aromatherapy care.
Exactly.
Spa, massage, hot bath, nature walk. Wonderful. We have around 60 answers.
Great, and many ideas.
Yes, you can comment if you want.
Well, I can see massage, meditating, sea, hiking, nature, aromatherapy, yoga. This is what I'm reading so far. Sport, and these are great rituals, great self rituals. I'm happy that a lot of you answered and a lot of you found what is their self-care ritual, because it is very important to have a self-care ritual, especially in these difficult and unprecedented moments we're living. So I'm going to share my screen again. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, so as I was saying, it's very important to have a self-care ritual, or what we can say, it's like finding your own space, because this is where you're going to find your own self. This is where you're going to have a moment off from all the craziness that is around us, that is surrounding us. This is where we're going to find a moment to unwind, to shift our mind from the state of anxiety, from the state of stress and nervousness, just to, you know, to come inside us and to regenerate us. So your sacred place is where you can find yourself over and over again. And it can be through like just finding your own physical space and staying there for a while with breathing for a few minutes. It can be for a meditating session, a short one maybe. It can be for doing your yoga, or for painting, or for doing your favorite leisure. Maybe it can just go and take a warm bath. So if you want to create your own physical space, it's good, you know, to choose a space, comfortable place with some dim lights, candles. It should be warm and cozy. And of course, it will be good if you diffuse essential oils. I just added music because sometimes some people don't like music, and sometimes music, whenever you have like also don't engage a lot of your senses if you want really to relax and to be in a meditating state. And one of the important aspects is also breathing. When you want to start, like you want to take 5 or 10 minutes for yourself, for your self-care or self-love rituals, you need to start by, you know, lowering yourself and your body, and you need to start by breathing. This is called deep breathing, is also called, you know, the abdominal breathing, where you inhale from your mouth and you exhale from your nose, and you inhale from your mouth, you know, like this. They say that you can do it like 1 to 3 times to first start, and then you can go ahead with your ritual. You can start by, you know, sitting comfortably, have your both of your feet, you know, really touching the floor, a little bit apart, not just, you know, to close and feel well, and then you start whatever you want doing. You want to start breathing, it will automatically oxygenate you, it will automatically slower your heartbeat, stabilize your blood pressure, of course relax your muscles. And then if you combine your breathing technique with some essential oils, whether you are diffusing them or whether you are using them very consciously, then this is very relaxing. So what are my essential oils for self-care rituals, either for meditating or for breathing? Of course, frankincense is one of the most important one. Frankincense has a great impact on breathing. It will slower the breeze, but at the same time amplifies that. You can breathe more easier. And then Atlas cedarwood is very strengthening, and it is very grounding. Sandalwood is very protective because it's a wood, and it has an amazing smell. Ylang ylang also is deeply sedative. Bergamot is relaxing with a feel good, and vetiver as well is a grounding essential oil. So what you can do is, like, you can start by a spritzer to just, clean the space. What an easy spritzer, an easy aromatic spritzer would be just to use hydrolat, like lavender or rose, and it's just do it in the air. And it's very light, and it's gonna put you in the mood. We can do, like, this is a diffusion that you can do during either your meditation session or because you want to just feel well. This blend clears the mind, eases breathing, and gives energy. It is lemon combined with rosmarinus, cineole, and Atlas cedarwood. So if we are talking for a total of 10 drops, you would put 1 drop of cedarwood, or 1 or 2, and rosmarinus you would put 4, and then you would put lemon also. So we're 4 and 2, and then you would put the rest for lemon. And this is for an evening blend. Also for meditating, you want to get a time to slow and time off a little bit. So you just take your diffuser and you fill it with frankincense, with bergamot, and with sweet orange. I particularly like this combination. It's very beautiful. It's very relaxing, and it's very balancing, actually. And then why not, make a relaxing body oil blend that you would put on your whole body. That massage has an extraordinary effect on our body. It relaxes it because whenever there are the touches and the massage, there are the endorphins, the good feel hormone that are released. It also promotes the good blood circulations. It's also gonna ease a muscle tension. So massage is really great. And when you are gonna combine it with essential oil, aromatherapy and massage, it is something really very, very effective. Like I have had a person who had her daughter had a car accident, a very severe car accident. And so this lady applied a blend that I made for her, and she texted me like months later, and she said the only thing that was really relaxing me when I came back home after my day at the hospital was really massaging myself with this body oil that you had made for me. So it can be very good. And that is a shower ritual. We are all living like in times where everything is quick, and we need to, some of you maybe do not have time for shower. So I thought that a shower recipe would be good. It's very easy. Actually, you can choose the essential oil you like. In here, we're talking about just one essential oil. And you are going to drop it on the floor of your tub, away from you. It should not touch the skin. It should not touch your skin. And make sure that your tub, is quite resistant. It doesn't get discolored by the essential oil. And so you can run the hot water, and what will happen is that the steam of the hot water will carry the essential oils with it, and this will and the aroma will diffuse all around. So let's say you're getting up in the morning, you need something that is energizing and to put you in a good mood. You can choose maybe a lemongrass, you can choose eucalyptus, or in the evening you want something that is really relaxing, then why not mandarin, sweet orange, or frankincense. And a lot of you mentioned like that a walk in nature, a hike is really what lifts their spirit up, and it's good for their self-care as a self-care ritual. And I agree with you. Many studies have linked the importance of exercising, especially in the outdoor, to the benefits of our mental health, of course, to the benefits of our physical health, but also to the benefits of our mental health. And why not make an oxygenating, energizing, feel-good blend and take it with you as an inhaler where you are going. And it's going to give you energy, it's going to make you feel well. And if you're not going, if you're unable to go walk in the nature, you can just use it and close your eyes, and you are transported in the nature. So I use Scots pine, balsam fir, and grapefruit. So we are about to finish our webinar. Of course, the final recommendation is to always look after your physical health. Don't forget that exercise is beneficial for your well-being and for your mental health. Surround yourself with loving people, those who have a positive energy for you. And don't forget to eat a healthy, balanced diet. We have not talked about diet, but a healthy diet is very important, not just for physical and health, for our physical health and overall health, but also for our mental health, because a lot of things happening in our digestive systems are related to mental health. Do something that makes you feel good, that uplifts you, whether it's drawing things, whether it's dancing, whether it's keeping a diary and writing things. Don't forget to practice breathing exercise. It doesn't have to be long. It can take like 5 minutes a day, morning and night, and you just need to be regular. Don't forget to make walks outdoors in nature. It's very uplifting. And also, of course, use other complementary therapy. Don't forget to use your sense of smell more, because your sense of smell, the more you use it, the more you will smell more, the more you will smell better. And actually, studies have shown that people who live in cities had their sense of smell lowered. They couldn't smell as much as, they couldn't smell odors as much as other people who were living like in the mountains or in the nature. And of course, love more, laugh more and love more. 1 minute of anger weakens the immune system for 4 to 5 hours, whereas 1 minute of laughter boosts the immune system for 24 hours. That's something. So though you have to impact positively your well-being and your health, so you know what to do. Don't forget, of course, to rely on aromatherapy to be your trusted ally for life, for this well-being journey, because they are effective, they are uplifting, and there are a lot of joy. Before we see the last video, I just wanted to let you know that if you have any additional questions, just shoot me an email. This is my email. If you have any questions related to essential oils, how to use them, how to apply them, please follow me on my Facebook page or on my Insta page, because it is there where I put usually the workshops to come. I write about essential oils in general. I am also on LinkedIn. A lot of articles I published. I publish like interesting articles that were written about aromatherapy. And then if you have any other questions, if you'd like to know more about the NAHA, the National Association of Holistic Aromatherapy, and how to join, well, feel free, please, to contact me. And this is our last, or before two last slides. So this is a movie that has just been released, actually. It talks about the nose of Dior perfume. And it's a smell good movie. There are not many movies about perfume, but I just wanted to put it to you just for the feel good effect. Of course, in making a perfume, they're not using all the natural essential oils, but it's worth watching this trail, because you're gonna see you're gonna see the roses from grass, some jasmine, and some other ylang ylang. So it is interesting to see this feel-good movie, and we can go to the trailer.
Okay, so I'll ask you to stop sharing your screen, Nicole, please,
yes,
to share the video. Meanwhile, let me announce our next webinar before we end this one, because we will be watching the videos and answering your questions. Natalie added an assessment link if you'd like to take like 2-3 minutes at the end of the webinar to assess our webinars. And then our next one, it will be about mRNA vaccine concerning the vaccination of COVID. It will be on March 18 at 5 p.m. Beirut time. We will be adding the link for registration on the chat box too for our next webinar. So it will be held on March 18 at 5 p.m. about vaccination, COVID vaccine. And we'll have the honor to welcome a specialist from Switzerland to tell us about the webinar. So let's watch the video now.
Someone walks into a room, mixes together some things that smell good, boom, you've got a perfume. It's quite the contrary. It's like composing a symphony.
Ça, c'est topissime, ça.
Il associe des images aux odeurs. Il a comme ça une bibliothèque de 2000 matières premières. C'est inimaginable.
Quand on est un créateur, il faut être curieux de tout et de tous.
Selling perfume is selling a dream. It's selling a fantasy.
Le parfum, c'est par définition, à mon sens, une aventure humaine.
Yes, true. It's an aventure humaine. It's scents and perfumes are really okay, let me just share my screen again. Can you see? Are you able to see my?
No.
No, okay. And now, can you see it?
I don't know, it's black. You are sharing the PowerPoint?
Yes, so, okay, let me go back. Gonna stop sharing and then share it again. Is it working?
Yes.
Okay, so we have the last two slides. I just wanted to leave you with this thought. Les senteurs comme les couleurs se déclinent à l'infini, which means that smells and odors and aromas, like we can create them with no limits. And this is something that I found. Les plaisirs procurés par la nourriture, l'érotisme ou encore la famille forment l'essence même de nos vies émotionnelles. C'est l'odorat qui en est le déclencheur essentiel. En réalité, nous devrions appeler notre sens de l'odorat le sens du désir, car il exalte nos passions et nous procure des joies indescriptibles. It's all about the pleasures that we receive from the food, from erotism, or even from family. They are the essence of our emotional lives, and the smell sense is what is what makes them happen. So in reality, we should call our smell sense the desire smells, because it makes all passions possible and give us like immense joys. And I want to finish by saying that for me, aromatherapy gives me an immense joy, and it has certainly been part of my well-being, not just now, but before, and it has certainly helped me and support me during this COVID pandemic. And I hope that I have succeeded in making you more know aromatherapy and maybe use it even more. Thank you all for joining me.
Thank you very much, Nicole. Can we stop sharing to discuss a little bit?
Yes.
We have like 5 minutes for discussion. Thank you so much, Nicole, for this amazing webinar. I had many beautiful odors during this webinar, and it was really interesting. I will ask you if it is possible for you to open your cam just for 2 minutes. It will be amazing to see you, to discuss a little bit together.
Yes, of course.
Tell you bye-bye. So if you can open your cam, it will be great.
So how am I going to open my cam? I haven't.
Yes, so we have some questions in the chat box before we discuss with everyone. So concerning where we find this oil, how can we buy this oil?
You can contact me and I will let you know.
Okay, so by mail, we have the mail of Nicole. Right. There are other questions, I think. Where can we buy essential oils? Next webinar in English, yes, it's in English too. The next one, it's about COVID, about the vaccine, and we put the flyer and the link in the chat box. You have the flyer in the chat box and the link for registration, and we will be sending you emails. So do you have more questions to address to Nicole now directly? Open your cam, feel free. We have some few minutes to discuss together.
I'm reading some of the questions in the...
Can you write email again in the chat box, Nicole's email, please?
Okay, yes, can you write your email, Nicole, please, in the chat box?
Yes, sure.
Okay, so more questions? مروان حاج.
ممكن أسأل بالعربي؟
أكيد. Any language.
هلا مثلا العسل، اذا بتسال شخص بيعرف بالعسل انه شو افضل عسل، بيقول لك العسل اللي بيطلع بالمنطقه عندك، لانه كل انسان افضل شيء له هو كل شيء عنده من الانفايرمنت تبعه. يعني الورد اللي بيطلع عنا بالمنطقه والشجر اللي بالمنطقه بيعمل العسل اللي بيناسبني انا اكثر من انه اروح جيبه من المانيا. بالعطور كمان نفس الشيء، يعني في كثير اشياء هلا انعرضت مثلا نحن مش موجوده بلبنان، ولما بتجي انت بتحاول تجربها رح تلاقيها انه ما كثير مناسبه لإلك، رح تلاقي الاشياء اللي نحن معودين عليها ببلدنا بتناسبنا اكثر بكثير على الايموشنز تبعولنا وحتى على سعادتنا. هذه بس هيك شوي صغيره. بالنسبه لي كثير مهم بلبنان المشكله ما في مطرح تروح تشتري الاسنشال اويلز، فنحن بحاجه انه يصير في مثل شراء كولكتيف، يعني نشتري كلياتنا مع بعض في اشياء كثير غاليه. الاشياء الحلوه اللي كثير مهمه هي بتكون كثير غاليه وما بيقدر الواحد يشتريها بكميه صغيره، ما بيعطوا اياها بسعر منيح. السؤال اذا فينا نعمل هيك شيء طريقه، نكون مجموعه كبيره نصير كلياتنا نقول نحن بدنا هذا الاسنشال اويلز، كل واحد قديش بس كم ملي لتر بده اياه، حتى اخر شيء نحن نقدر نجيب للكل بسعر كثير.
ايه اكيد فينا نعمل هيك. هيدي طريقه كمان بتنعمل، وفينا نعمل مثل جروب ونشوف شو هن الكومن essential oils اللي بلاقوهم كلهم نسبيين وفينا نعمل هاي الطلبية. بس كمان بدي أشير كمان للشيء اللي قلته قبل، إنه مثلا لافندر نحن عنا بلبنان كإسنشال أويلز عطور بيطلع عنا، الورد كمان أكيد، اللي قلتهم بوتي جرام بكاراتيه أو زهر الليمون، هول سميلز نحن معودين عليهم، فأكيد كتير بفيدوا. يعني لازم واحد يستعمل هول الانواع الاسنشال اويلز اللي واحد معود عليهم، خصوصا باوقات يلي واحد بيكون بده شويه سايكولوجيكال هيلب، او كثير مهم انه يستعمل اسنشال اويلز او سميلز معود عليها اكيد.
Okay, maybe I missed some questions in the chat. Please feel free to ask your questions here live.
Okay.
Rita? Rita Faris, you have a question?
Yes, hi, thank you for this webinar. I just wanted to ask you, can scented candles have negative effects sometimes if we use them very often?
Okay, it all comes down to what the composition is, like what have they used, what kind of ingredients. Just look for those who have the most natural ingredients possible. And even with scented candle, they're not using they're using synthetic fragrances usually.
Thank you.
And like everything else, everything also that's related to smell, do not use them a lot for a long period and very frequently, because it also can have negative effects.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Linda, you have a question? We have Linda and Karel, if you can ask your questions.
We have an interesting question from Tatiana. She's asking whether perfumes should be individualized depending on each person's character. It's a very interesting question. And I would say, yes, perfume can be individualized. You know, there's something called therapeutic perfume. Like you can go and according to what you want or what you want to feel, we can make a blend and make it as a perfume, and you can use it according to either your mood or to your character, okay, with essential oils.
Okay, so we can contact you for that?
Yes, of course.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Rana, you want to ask your question? Please feel free to open your video, your mic, and to ask. In the chat box, Karel is saying, Karel, is it possible to teach about herbalism and the use of local plants for our health?
Yeah, that would be very interesting, actually, and this would should happen.
And Rana is asking.
I think now.
Yes, sorry.
I'm sorry, but I think now with everything that's happened, especially because of the COVID, and people are more and more returning to their roots and to trying to use their, everything they have, their local plants, their local essential oils, and that should be good, because Lebanon has a long tradition of medicinal plant, but it has been lost now, but we should revive it again. I agree with you. Alors, un petit mot sur la voie orale. Okay, essential oils. As a French-trained aromatherapist, I can counsel people to use oil internally, but this is something that should not be done by people on their own, because it has a lot of contradictions and it carries a lot of precautions. So, but essential oils can be used orally, except you need to, that needs to be done under the supervision of a trained aromatherapist, trained in French aromatherapy.
Do we have other questions from Marilyn? Marilyn, are you here? Rana Isa is asking which essential oil is the best for the stress and the one helping good sleep?
We mentioned that already. But Suzanne is asking if it would be a good strategy to recommend essential oils to students. Yes, of course. And actually, a lot of parents use that because this is a mild approach and it helps students. And actually, they love the aroma. They love it when they are studying and they're diffusing like I don't know, lemon and lavender. They're happy. Just remember not to use it continuously, or when they have their inhaler with them, like sometimes they don't want to let go of it. They're very happy with it.
Excellent. So if we don't have no more questions, thank you very, very much, Nicole. There are more questions in the chat, or is it okay?
Let me check. Will the essential oil be effective after a period of time? Or بيتعود الواحد عليهم؟ ما بيتعود الواحد عليهم, but we always advise to change the blends of essential oil every once in a while. It's better. What essential oil to keep mosquitoes go away? Well, we have lemongrass, we have geranium, we have citronelle. They're very, very effective. Like sometimes you just need to use one, like either lemongrass, either citronelle, and put it on a handkerchief near your nightstand table, and the mosquito will go away. Trust me, from my own experience. Somebody has a question about tea tree oil, but I'm not sure what it is.
Shakir, you have a question?
Yes. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I would like to know, I'm using tea tree oil now for about 11 years.
Okay.
Pure. And I would like to know if the effect of tea tree oil is about boosting the immune system, or is it about pure antimicrobial?
Okay, it has both actually, but it is more antibacterial than immune boosting. Okay,
okay.
But it has an effect on immunity. Okay, it helps. So, but it is more antibacterial. Okay, you are using it pure on the skin, or how are you using it? Okay.
Actually, a little bit by accident. You described many ways to use essential oil. About 11 years ago, I started using it like for another reason. I was on camping. And since I travel a lot, and I have a friend that is a allothérapeute in a hospital. So I use a technique that is very simple, a few drops, pure.
Right.
And I inhale it deeply twice. And the rest of it is used under my chin to keep diffusing a little bit. But what I noticed, since I travel a lot, I used to have flus and colds like everyone else. And it's my 11th year without any respiratory disease or allergy or anything. And actually with the COVID and the Corona and the SARS, just for fun, I'm not using a mask. And I was quite surprised, well, besides on the plane and in airports, but it's very weird to observe with your own study, unless it's really psychosomatic, that I'm not infected. I cannot be infected. And for fun, I came to Lebanon because I couldn't do that in Canada. I didn't come for that reason. But my mom is from a village and they had some cases. And the first thing I would do is go to those people, spend a day with them at the height of their symptoms, just to try, since, well, I will not die from it if it happens, if I get the disease. And surprisingly, I stopped doing it after a dozen of people because I didn't have anything, any symptom, anything at all. So I was trying to find on the internet, also through some studies, to understand how it could work. And is it only through the immune system, or does it literally kill whatever viruses enter our lungs. So maybe you have some answers to that.
So it has antibacterial, it has antiviral properties, it has both, and it also works on the immune system. And maybe because you have been using it for so long that, you know, it has become very effective. But also I think that you have a good immune system as well. And the last point that I wanted to talk about is that why we do not advise to use it neat or pure on the skin. It is because with repeated use, like in every day on the same place, there are some risk of sensitization of the skin. And actually a lot of therapists, aromatherapists who work with essential oil do get sometimes this kind of side effects. It's not like it's not good to use it, but sometimes it's not recommended. So either you can either change, or sometimes from time to time try to blend it with the carrier oil, even if it's few drops of the carrier oil. But you've been doing well so far. So, but of course, tea tree is one of my favorite essential oil in winter time and for immunity. I agree with you.
I'm not using it every day, by the way.
Okay.
I'm just using it when I think there is a risk of any viral.
Can you please write the name? Can you please write the name of the oil? I didn't get it.
It's tea tree.
Ah, tea tree. Yes, great.
Yes.
I have a question, please. Is it true that inhaling some apple vinegar also is good for the immunity or against the virus?
Inhaling? You said inhaling?
Yes.
I didn't.
Using the nose.
I have no information about this. I don't know.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much, Nicole.
Thank you.
Thank you for all of you for participating in our webinar, and looking forward to see you on the next one.
Yes, thank
you,
you all.
Nicole. Have a great
Bye-bye.
evening.
Have a good evening. Bye. Bye.
Bye. Okay, I will end the meeting, Natalie and Tracy. Thank you so much. Merci. Bonne soirée. Ciao. Hamad, are you still here? Hamad.